Well, hello, Leeds United fans, and potentially Sheffield United fans here. I was made aware of something by Jimmy Blades Ramble, who's obviously a friend of the channel, and you'll have probably seen the video that went out with me and Jimmy a little bit earlier on. And Jimmy actually mentioned something on the stream regarding Sheffield United, and we're talking about football, and we're having a good time. And he mentioned George Baldock, of which we all know horrendous, and that is something of which you're expecting Leeds to do something for. I hope they do something for. I hope there will be a camaraderie between the fans because that's way beyond football. And on Baldock, it's horrendous news. But there was also another thing which came to mind, and Jimmy said on the stream, he mentioned Johnny from Sha and View. And you'll see me on the stream, and I sort of stutter a little bit, and I'm like, "What?" Yeah, and we carry on talking, and then afterwards, I said to Jimmy, I said, "What's this about Johnny?" And he said he passed away 3 weeks ago, and it gets me a little bit, choked up really because it's not. This isn't maybe something that Leeds fans are aware of, but Johnny at Shaw and View was Shaw and View for a lot of you is a Sheffield United fan channel that's been going for probably about 7 to 10 years now. And I wanted to be completely respectful when making this video. Johnny passed away 3 weeks ago, suicide. And I had absolutely no idea. No idea. I've been trying to keep off Twitter and social media, and all this sort of stuff. And I've got two accounts. I don't really go on them as much as I would maybe once did. And I've completely missed it. And it's funny actually. This morning, the other morning, I was thinking about asking Johnny for a preview. I had no thoughts about it. I was thinking about doing it, but I was speaking to Jimmy a little bit, and I did something with Jimmy's channel, so it just passed my mind. Johnny at Shaw and View, I was watching when I was at university. Me and my mate Ollie, who was a Barnsley fan, two clubs who don't like Sheffield United, Leeds, and Barnsley, would religiously watch him. And Ollie told me about him. He said, "There's this lad at Johnny at Shaw and View, and he's fantastic." Fantastic, beer and breakfast, but they go to the game, and it was more than football. It's not like I was watching a Sheffield United fan channel. It was like I was watching the lads go to the football. I was watching some superb videography, by the way. This boy was beyond talented, beyond talented. There was humor and banter, and it inspired me. It inspired me to get on the fan channels. Johnny was my inspiration to get involved in this stuff. I thought maybe I can do that. And for him to have passed away 3 weeks ago is so sad. It is so sad, and I was speaking to Jimmy just there, and I was getting a bit choked up because I've been in contact with Johnny since 2020. I asked him for a preview. I didn't expect anything back, and not only did he get back to me, but the kindness of the lad. He started making me intros. He started making me transitions. He started making me all this sort of stuff. One of the messages, they are ready-made video files. You can just chuck them into any project on video editing, blah, blah, blah. I fear I'll be far too drunk on Sunday and probably out till 1 a.m. But Monday, I'm off if you're free and I'll work on it for you. And he was just absolutely, he'd do anything. And this is a guy who I didn't know. I didn't know Johnny. I'd been in Sheffield for about 5 years, at university. I'd come out and I was messaging a guy who I absolutely loved. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was funny, talented. And the reaction that he'd give me, he messaged me in March 2021, and he genuinely thought I was in a picture with him. In I think it was just one of the local pubs around Sheffield, and I said, "No, mate, it's not me." And we just had chats, but he was just an absolutely lovely lad, and you might be able to see this. This is me sending him a preview. This Johnny, hope you're well, mate. It's Connor here from One Leeds Fan Channel. I appreciate you asking me to do this. I've got a big beaming smile on my face, and it's because I absolutely love this content, and I loved what Johnny brought on and all the lads at Shaw and View. And he said, "You are a superstar, pal." And I said, "No problem, pal. Essentially anything for you." And for this to have been the situation, and for me only to be made aware of it today, it actually, I felt embarrassed. I felt like upset because I was like, I didn't know the lad on a personal standpoint, but we were going to meet at one of the Sheffield United games, back in the day, and we never did, and all this sort of stuff. But for me, I feel annoyed at myself, and I really appreciate Jimmy for letting me know. But the reason I wanted to make this video is I want you all to be aware as Leeds fans about how good this guy was and how important to the YouTube community he was and what a sound lad he was. And without him, I honestly don't think I'd have started it. I wouldn't have known I wouldn't have seen the inspiration. So Sha and View and Johnny, it's so sad, so sad. And there's two big events for me that have happened now on the Sheffield United space. This video is not going to be monetized, not going to be getting any adverts on it or anything like that, any of that sort of rubbish. This is just a message to Johnny, and you might see down, mate, and his family. I didn't know I didn't know whether or not to make this video, to be honest, because who am I? But I just wanted everybody to know that I've managed to grow this platform, and it's all because of him. Literally because of it. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for him. And I wanted to just put like a little humorous thing on, of which his vlogs used to make me absolutely wet myself as well, because he was so funny. And we had a little bit of laughing and joking about this one on personal messaging.
That's an hour off of my life I'm never getting back. And the only time I'm ever happy about losing an hour and a half of my life is after waking up in a seedy hotel bathtub, covered in vomit, with an empty bottle of Sambuca in one hand and other chained to a cheap dwarf prostitute whose real name turns out to be Colin, not Kelly. Oh, man. Oh, God. Oh, man.
I sent it to him. We had a bit of a laugh about that and stuff. But listen, and it's just, it's so sad. Jimmy tells me he's got kids and stuff like that, but he was a funny lad. He'd do anything for you. He'd do anything, from my experience. And that was just online. He'd do anything for you. And he was a true inspiration, genuinely. So shout out to you, mate. And extremely sad. And I just want to give my thoughts to his family, all the Sheffield United fan base. It's been a horrendous time for you over the past 7 to 10 days, or even longer, I should say, the month with Johnny. And yeah, my full respects are there to Sheffield United. We'll speak about him tomorrow on the watch long as well. Might be able to read out some more of the interactions we had. And guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. A bit of a different one for me. We'll see you in a bit.